Hi Tarot friends, it's Jade here with Tarot Your Truth, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my Walking Through the Tarot series. Today we are talking about the Queen of Swords. So we're almost through the Queen suit, and all the major arcana are done as well. So if you haven't watched the other ones, then please do, and I will get to the other suits as well. But for now, let's get moving. So again, I would just like to say that as with previous videos, I'm not trying to teach anyone anything. This is more for me. This is one of the ways that I learn is by looking and analyzing and reviewing. And so what we're going to be doing is looking and comparing some of the descriptions between the, what you always see out there, which is the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. It is not the only it is not the only tarot style out there. So we're going to be comparing that one with other Rider-Waite-Smith-ish decks, about 45 or so of those, close to 50, and then looking at the ancient Marseille style, ancient Italian style, and Marseille style, sorry, and then the Thoth at the end. So without further ado, please, if you have any comments, I would love to hear them. If you have any meanings, or if any meanings have come to you with your work with the cards that I haven't talked about here, or that is another opinion, I would love to hear it. Please leave a comment down below, and let me know also what your favorite card is. I'd love to hear that. I've been really enjoying the feedback that I've gotten, as well as hearing about your experiences with these cards. So without further ado, let's get moving. So I'm going to start with the Rider-Waite-Smith. So this is the Radiant Wise Spirit deck that I have here. And I'm going to be reading from different sources. In this case, I've chosen for the Rider-Waite-Smith definition, I've been reading the Kitchen Table Tarot by Melissa Sanova, or excerpts from it anyway. So in this case, she says, she doesn't give a damn about your motivations or what happens to you because of your actions. She's a big picture kind of gal, and she cuts away all of the emotion and feeling to get to the point. Incredibly smart, she doesn't have the time or patience to mess around with you. She's stern, fair, and has a sharp tongue. She can be intimidating, but once she's on your side, it's as if you have an army behind you. She's strong, independent, and forthright. A complete badass. On the reverse side, nasty, full of self-doubt, lack of mental clarity, bitchiness. Think carefully about the words flying out of your mouth. Words are sharp, can cut. They can change someone's life. Words have intent. Okay. So, yeah, I really don't like the artwork for many of these cards. Yeah, if not all of them, but anyways, in this particular case, Pamela Coleman Smith she's drawn someone who looks from this angle anyways to be completely intimidating. Yeah, I don't know, yeah, anyway, let's have a look. So we're gonna look at some of the cards. This is the the art history for past lives. This is a painting of Queen Elizabeth I. The Fountain Tarot. The Dark Mansion. I love, love, love this deck. I love, love, love this deck. The Modern Witch Tarot. I adore this one. So this is the Hidden Realms. And let's see what that says. This card represents a person with a lot of life experiences, and not all of it necessarily happy. She is smart, analytical, and honest, and is never a victim of circumstance. Rather, she sees all the difficulties as challenges. She may not be pleased by everything that happens, or that others do, but she will do what is necessary to achieve her goals. With an uncanny ability to see connection and patterns, she is able to draw on her own experiences and impart wisdom to others. At times, bitterness may tinge her normally calm voice. Even this strong lady can feel wary of always rising above life's misfortunes. This one here, I mean, I personally normally see myself in the tarot as the Queen of Wands. And that's the card that tends to come up for me for me. But I resonate with the meaning of this card, with this particular card a lot. And there's been many times in my life where I have felt more like the Queen of Swords than the Queen of Wands. But anyway, Shadowscapes. I love this one too. Santa Muerte. You know, one of the things that's one of the outcomes of doing these videos is that I am falling in love with my different decks again. It's not like I ever felt out of love with them, but I just man, I wish there was enough time in the day or the week or the month to work with every single one of them, because I love them so much. The Light Series Tarot, I have not worked with this one yet. The Everyday Witch is another one that I really need to pull out very soon. The Muse. Enchanted Forest. Love. Okay, I'm going to apologize for a second, but I have to show you something. I'm just going to reach over here for one sec. Okay, check this out, guys. Oops, she fell over. Okay, so let's see, I probably can't get this completely in the frame, but it's Circe. I could not resist. I saw this and it just made me, I just thought, I loved it so much. I had to get it. I have Daenerys as well. And I sometimes put Daenerys on the Iron Throne, but she usually doesn't stay there. I usually pull Circe back. I think Circe was just an amazing, if you've watched Game of Thrones, otherwise this means nothing to you, but I think Circe was an amazing choice and really the only choice for the Queen of Swords here. She did everything for her family and name, and to prove her worth as a woman and ruler. Ethereal Visions. Sorry about this. There we go. Druidcraft. This is interesting. She's pouring water out. Let's just have a look at what that one says. So, so there's 3 full pages in this book, so I'm not going to read that. I'm just going to read the little paragraph that says, when the Queen of Swords appears in a spread, it is time for the individual to meet that dimension of himself or herself which clings unswaying to an immovable faith in high ideals. These ideals may be noble and lofty, and help to improve consciousness and the quality of life. But they may also reject life and be a defense against the fear of being human and therefore vulnerable to hurt. The individual needs to see where he or she might create problems through demanding superhuman perfection of others or oneself. If the Queen of Swords enters one's life as a strong, idealistic, aloof woman, it may be seen as a catalyst through through which one discovers this aspect of self. I actually, you know, again, I resonate with that. I do, well, because of various issues in my life and trauma and whatnot, my life experiences, I've often seen myself that way, as having to be, like, not being superhuman, but having to act that way, demanding perfection. I am a perfectionist, and I demand it of myself and of others around me. And, you know, I work really hard at that. I have been learning over the past while to sort of let that go. And tarot and knitting as well have been an exercise in learning to let go, learning to not always be such a perfectionist, and to really reflect on where I need to be that perfectionist and where I don't. That's the front, and that's the back. I love this card. I think this is probably my favorite depiction of the Queen of Swords. Just from an artwork perspective, I adore it. This is from my Tarot de l'Ennemi. Oh my gosh, finger's not working. Deviant Moon, the Crow Tarot, Crystal Visions, the Rackham Tarot. You know, one of the things that I love about this deck, and I haven't worked with this deck very much. I'm looking forward. I need to do that this year, but this deck is so interesting to me. The artwork is so interesting because when I first look at it, I can't see anything. It's just a big mess of color and shapes, and it's, you know, I keep looking at it, and then I start to be able to make things out, you know, like the bird on her shoulder, and you know, the knife at her waist, and all the different pieces that are in the card. I don't necessarily see those right away. And there is the Knight of Swords, which, sorry, not the Queen. The Gilded. This one makes me laugh. I love the bear trap. And this is the Next World Tarot. All right, and that, oh, no, not quite. We have the Wildwood, and that is the last of the Rider-Waite-Smith style decks. And now let's look at the Ancient Italian and Marseille style. So this is Minchiata e Etruria. So very similar, right? Almost the same hand gesture. Classical Marsiglia. And the Ancient Italian. And here is where I really much prefer this depiction to this one. Not just because I think the artwork is horrible, but on the Rider-Waite-Smith, but much like the description of that I read for the Hidden Realms, the Ancient Italian deck also talks about, actually, let me read it. Okay. Okay, so the booklet here says, it's weird actually, the booklet says widow, melancholy, sterility, separation, remorse, lack of feeling. But if you actually, so I've done a lot of research into the Ancient Italian, because I do, I don't know, the Ancient Italian style decks for me are, feel like home, I guess. So if you do some reading about this, you'll see like her hand is on her heart. And, you know, even her expression is not one of just seriousness. It's not one of just, give me the truth and nothing but the truth and keep all your emotions out of it. This is a woman who or a person, I guess, who has lived life to the fullest and has experienced the ups and downs, and she's experienced emotional ups and downs. And so it's not without empathy that she rules on, you know, what's just and what's not. That is why her hand is on her heart, because she, yes, you know, it is about logic. It is, you know, she'll help you through things, and work through the logic of things and what's just and what's not. But it's not without empathy. And I think that that's really the mark of a much better ruler than just someone who's black and white, just give it to me straight, and never mind, you know, the suffering piece. So yeah, so that's why I love that one. This is the Tattoo Tarot, badass. Valentina Visconti, and she's called Domina. The Marshmallow. This is the 1JJ Swiss. Same sort of hand up. The Solabusca. Look familiar. Tarot of the Master. Her hand is almost on her heart. Not quite. This is the Tarot Classic. And the last but not least, sorry, I didn't realize this had been knocked down a bit, is the Visconti Tarot. And let's have a look at what the Tarot Classic says. So, sharp, quick-witted, a keen person, intensely perceptive, a subtle person, may signify a widow or woman of sadness. That was similar to the ancient Italian version, right? A subtle person, I said that. Mourning, privation, absence, loneliness, separation. One who has savored great happiness, but who presently knows the anxiety of misfortune and reversal. On the shadow side, narrow-mindedness, maliciousness, bigotry, deceitfulness, vengefulness, prudishness, a treacherous enemy, an ill-tempered person. All right, so again, speaking to those emotions. All right, and the paradoxical version of the Trionfi della Luna. And now we get to the Handel Tarot. And do I have that book here? I do not. Oh, here it is. Okay, the Handel Tarot. Let's see what that one says. Okay, where are we here? Oh my goodness. So here she's called the Queen of Swords. But in the book, it's called the Mother of Swords. That's interesting. Okay. Divinatory meanings. A mysterious person, devotion, autonomy. On the reverse side, need for privacy exaggerated. Conflict between love and solitude, love of solitude, and love for others. The description of this card, by the way, says, Nut is the night sky arched over the earth. She also appears to be standing upright on her toes, as she would appear painted on the inner lid of a sarcophagus. The stars resemble a human with arms and legs out in celebration. Interesting. Okay. All right, so that's the Thoth, the first Thoth-based card that we have. And then we have the Millennium Thoth and the Aleister Crowley. These two do diverge. Normally they're pretty well the same, but in this case, let's have a look. That's because this is not the right card. This is the Knight of Swords. I was going to say, that looks so different. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, guys. does that mean that I had... I wonder if I showed the wrong one before. Sorry about that. Okay. That's really annoying. Okay. Well, the Queen of Swords for the Millennium Thoth says, a cold and calculating personality, observing more than normal, speaking your truth while ignoring lies. On the reversed side, giving into imagination too often, lack of noticing details, unable to stay objective in a situation. So let's just say that I resonate with the lack of noticing details right now, because when I was pulling these out, clearly I didn't notice that the wrong flipping card was here for the Crowley deck. So I apologize about that. Anyway, so there you have it. There are all of the cards that I have ready to show you for both the Rider-Waite-Smith, the Thoth, the Ancient Italian, and Marseille style decks. I really appreciate your watching. If you're still with me after 20 minutes, and I would really love to hear what your favorite cards are out of all of these, and what if you've resonated with this card at all in your life, and what the particular circumstances are. If you feel like sharing, please leave a note below. I'd love to hear that. And we have one more card to go, which is the King of Swords for the suit, and then I'm going to take a break from doing these videos for a little bit, but I will talk about that the next time. So until next time, bye bye.